What's going on, boys? This is another post-theater sit-down. I just got out of the theater watching 2023's Children of the Corn. Admittedly, I am not a familiar person with this franchise. I've heard through coworkers and just browsing the internet that it's a pretty low effort and a pretty low bar franchise. There's not a lot to these movies. It's a lot of diminishing returns. I've only seen the first one, the original one. This is the second remake, and it is the 12th movie in this whole franchise. I remember waking up one day and seeing the trailer drop for it. I chose not to watch it, but I was like, of course, I see all the horror movies in theaters, so I'm gonna go see it. Right off the bat, I was like, it's another Stephen King kind of revival, reboot era film, and those have kind of varying levels of quality to them. You have Doctor Sleep, I thought was fantastic. And you have the lower end stuff. It is a guilty pleasure of mine, but I do kind of enjoy the 2022 Firestarter movie. It has a lot of faults, I get it, but I have fun with it as a sci-fi thriller movie. But needless to say, after that one, the bar was very low for this movie. I had no expectations. I was like, I'm gonna just go watch a movie and see how it ends up. And right off the first few minutes, I was one of two people in the theater. I just knew, I'm in for a pretty bad movie. I'll start with the technical stuff. Minute one, it's the movie, and for most of what I can remember, and we'll get into that, the movie looks super, super gray. The coloring, for a movie like this, where it centers around cornfields in rural America, I kind of expect a bit of a warmer color palette. Super gray, artificial looking. It just looks fake and off. I did not like it. The CGI, which they use, from what I remember, they used quite a bit of it, and from what I remember, it looked awful. It just was not good. The later kind of final act of the movie, we'll get into spoilers for this review, it really starts to shine on how piss poor the CGI quality is in this movie. And I try and lower my standards for kind of clearly cheaper made films, but I just couldn't for this one. It was just that bad. That's not even the worst aspect of this film. I think I'm gonna have to give it to the dialogue. Good God, it was just terrible in this movie. It was high school level, theater kid level, in terms of the quality of it. A scene in particular that happens pretty early on in the movie. They have the adults at the town hall kind of bickering, arguing about corn, of all things. Who would have guessed? And the kids walk in, they barge in, and they're kind of bantering with the adults, and it was just so cringy and just made me grimace and kind of wince, and it was just not good. Very kind of one-dimensional and pointless dialogue overall. Getting back to the thing I've been pointing at is this was the second movie in a theater ever to make me fall asleep. The first film was the Han Solo movie. I was not a fan of that one. I vividly remember, spoiler alert for that movie, when Darth Maul gets revealed for 20 seconds. My friend's waking me oh look, it's Darth Maul. And I'm like, oh cool. And I went right back to bed. 30-minute mark for Children of the Corn. I'll go back to that. I started to doze off. It was just that first act, there was just so much exposition, and it just kept dragging on. And other than the intro sequence, there really wasn't a lot of horror, and it was just total bore. Funnily enough, though, I felt like I woke up to, and this is where we're getting into some spoilers, I felt like I woke up to the most memorable part of the movie, the part that doesn't make me give it a complete bottom of the barrel score. I woke up to the spirit that's kind of the overarching antagonist in these movies. He who walks, I think, again, I've only seen the first one, but the spirit that the children kind of center around. In this film, he is a literalized and realized kaiju corn monster, and it was just the funniest thing. When I wake up to screaming, and I look back at the screen and I see this corn creature chasing the final girl of the film, and it was just hilarious. I feel like it is an unfair review because I didn't watch the whole movie, but I think it says something when the movie was over. I'm like, that's all I needed to see was this final 10 minutes. I'm not gonna go back and revisit this film. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. It's close to a 1, but I reserve 1 out of 10s for movies that were just nothing happened in the movie. So if it didn't have that kaiju monster at the end, the corn monster, I probably would have given this a solid 1 out of 10. Just a bad movie. I strongly recommend you just ignore it, don't check it out, just let this franchise, this kind of low bar, straight to video, now back on theaters, back on the screens, franchise just kind of die off. It's not a good movie. Anyways, thank you so much for sticking around. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that would be fantastic. And I will catch you boys next time.